everyone, it's Martin Tennant here again for another guitar lesson. Thanks for joining me. Today this is the second installment of the tremolo picking. The last lesson in the series I briefly outlined the fundamentals behind tremolo picking and showed you some ways that you could incorporate tremolo picking into some of the lick and chord ideas. So we're going to quickly remind ourselves of some of these things, some of these ways that we could use tremolo picking, and then I'll then teach you a riff that's based on tremolo picking, and then we'll be playing that with a backing track so that you could use that to practice this technique with. This will help you not only to find ways to use tremolo picking in different musical situations and different chordal lick ideas, but also help you just to get better at the technique overall, develop your tremolo picking technique. So let's start off with the first example that we covered. We covered this in the last lesson. It's using a bend while tremolo picking. So it goes like this. Okay, so what I'm doing here, using the third finger, we've got a 10th fret on the G string, and we're bending up to the 12th fret pitch note. So we're going from this F natural up to G, and make sure when you're doing this bend that you get the correct pitch. You don't want to go too flat or too sharp. Okay, so make sure it's the correct pitch, and the best way to do that is before you do the bend, you pick the note that you want to, that you're bending to, so you can hear the pitch, then bend up to that note. Good way to practice the bend, so like I've shown you in the lesson on bends. Okay? If you want to see notation of this bend, tremolo idea, and the other ones that's in this lesson as well, go onto the learning resources page on my website and you'll find the handout under tremolo picking, and you can use that for reference to these riffs. Okay, right, so back to this bending tremolo picking. So we just do the bend, we hold the bend, then we come back down to the original note again while doing the tremolo picking. It's as simple as that. Bend up, and bend back down again. So as long as you know how to bend a note, you have the strength in your fingers to hold the note up there for a bit, and then bring it back down again, and then keep up this constant picking in the right hand. Then that's what you need to get this particular bend tremolo picking done. Do it again. And when you're doing these tremolo bends, and you're doing it in a musical situation, it will probably just be a case of you're doing the tremolo picking, just picking notes. Then you'll do a bend at one point. Something like that. Or it'll just be like we're doing when we were practicing it just now, just a series of bends just going back and forth. Just hold it, then back down to the note again, and then we'll do it again. And then you would be doing that while someone's doing the chord progression underneath that. Another tremolo picking thing you can do is using double stops while tremolo picking. So this is basically involves just tremolo picking two notes instead of just the one. Now there's a little bit more slightly more movement needed in the right hand, and it's not quite easy, especially in the beginning, to kind of get used to doing the fast picking while picking more on one string. But practice it. Just practice doing up and downs on the double stops slowly, and then build up the speed. That way you'll be more used to the having to pick the two notes fast. It's the best way to practice double stops if you or doing more than one note for this particular technique. So what we're going to do for this particular riff idea, we're going to play 4 different types of double stops, and basically we'll be doing 2 different shapes, and we'll be moving both of them into different frets. So here's the riff idea. We have a double stop here, partial bar on frets G and B on the 8th fret, and we tremolo pick that. But add your pinky up here on the 11th fret of the B string. So that's now actually a power chord shape. The first one was a major interval, now we've got a power chord, so it's a perfect fit. Okay, then we do the exact same thing again, but this time we do it up 2 frets. So now we have a major interval up here on the 9th fret, and we tremolo pick that. And then we add a pinky up on the 13th, and then we have that perfect fit, but this time it's the upper full step. So the whole riff goes. The third idea, this time will be a whole chord, so it'll be 3 strings will be doing this, the tremolo picking this time. The first one will be a bar chord fretting 8th fret on the strings G, B and high E. Use the first finger for that. And then for the second chord, just keep that bar where it is, add the pinky on the 11th fret of the B string. So you get this kind of, it's actually an E flat with a 6 on top. It's an E flat power chord with a 6. And then we do the same thing, the same shapes as before, then we move up a whole step, so it'll be on the 9th fret. Okay? So let's try that with tremolo picking. Okay, now let's learn to play a melody that I've composed using tremolo picking that you'll be able to use to practice along with the backing track for this lesson. Now, we're just going to be using single note picking for this whole melody idea, just so that you can, for you beginners and intermediate players, you can just get used to this technique, because it's a lot harder to do double stops or chords, as I've already established, using this technique. So that you can get used to this technique, and it'll be easier for you non-advanced players. We're just going to use single note melodies for this whole riff. So this melody has 2 different parts. It's basically going to, because the backing track is in 2 different keys. The first part of the backing track uses D major and A minor 7. So it's kind of like in a D Mixolydian mode. And then the second part moves over to more of a B flat Lydian kind of thing, because we have a B flat major, A major, B flat, C, repeats that. So just So if you see any kind of strange notes when you're playing this melody on its own, it's because it's to accommodate the sudden key change halfway through the backing track. So just be aware of that. Let me first of all play the melody for you straight through without the backing track, so that you can get an idea of what this sounds like. So here's part one. Part two. Let's start off with the first section. We start up here with the second finger on the 12th fret of the G string, and we pick that for a bar. It's all tremolo picking. The entire riff is all tremolo picking, by the way. So when I'll just tell you what the frets are, and you know that it's just all tremolo picking. Okay. So let's start off with the 12th fret for a bar. Then we slide down to the 11th fret on the G for one beat. Then play the next 3 beats of the bar on the 9th fret on the G. Go back up to the G for a bar. Then down to F sharp on the 11th for one beat again. Then you can either use your pinky to go up to the 14th fret on the G, or you can slide down to the 11th with your second finger, then slide all the way up to the 14th fret, so you can get a kind of more of a slide sound. And you slide back to the G. In fact, the second half of the first part is basically the exact same thing as the first part. Repeat that again. In the second half, when the key change is made, we go down to an F natural this time. That will be on the 10th fret on the G string. Do that for a full bar. Then we're going to change fingers now. We're going to use our first finger on the 9th fret. Then on the last beat we use our pinky to go up to the 12th fret on the G. And then back to the 10th fret. Do that for 3 beats. Then you slide all the way up to 14th. And then a full bar of the 12th fret. In the latter half of the part 2, we've got a bit more going on fingering wise. So we've got 2 beats of F on, which is the 10th fret on G. Then we're going to change strings now. Put our 4th finger on the 12th fret of D. Play that for 2 beats. Then we have, which is 9th fret on the D, which for a beat. Then another beat is on the 12th fret. Then 2 beats on the 9th fret of G. And then you do it for another 2 beats on the next bar. Then go up to the 10th again. Then slide all the way up to 14th. And then end on the G. All the way through. So that's all we're going to cover for this lesson series in terms of tremolo picking, because there's only so much that I know how to do when it comes to tremolo picking. I'm still learning more myself, but these are the things that I'm able to do technically when it comes to tremolo picking, and I just thought it'd be a good idea to pass that on to you so that you can take it and adapt it into your own playing, and just have some fun tremolo picking. Because if you want to play fast stuff on the guitar, this is certainly one way to do that. It might obviously involve a lot of patience. You may need to build up the technique, build up the speed before you can start playing it without making any too many errors and too many sort of make it sound too sort of clunky, because with the with the too much tension on the strings. Because you want to make sure it's nice and loose when you're doing this technique. But do all that stuff and you will be playing fast lead guitar playing stuff in no time. Now what I'm going to do to end this lesson, I'm going to play that melody that we just learned again. This time I'm going to do it with the backing track so that you could hear what this thing sounds like when you play it all the way through. And if you want to use the backing track yourself to practice with, then go into learning resources, find the tremolo picking section, and there's a button there where you can, it'll take you a link to my SoundCloud account where there's the backing track will be there for to listen to, practice with, or if you want to download it as well for free, you can do that as well. So have fun with that, have fun with learning all this stuff, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Check out my other stuff, so have fun. Bye for now.